Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Aaronica from Aaronica Be Cole & Co, where of course we center plus size sewing over here. And you guys, I am really excited to share with you a book that I have just received and possibly a little giveaway that I have going on. So stick around and see what it is that I'm talking about. Okay, so I am not someone who has been sewing like lingerie and everything like that for really, really long. I have been doing it for a couple of years and I've really enjoyed the things that I have made, the pieces that I've made, the panties that I've made, the bras that I've made. And honestly, without the help of like my girl Nikki from Sewing My Style, I don't know if I would have the gumption to go ahead and do as many things that I've done so far. I've already talked about how if it wasn't for Nikki, then I don't even know if one of my patterns would have made it to fruition, and that one is ME 2015. Yes, that bustier, because your girl was crying through it. It was my very first time putting together a bustier, and I felt like working with lingerie was going to be really, really hard. And I'm someone who really likes to read. Don't get me wrong, I love these YouTube streams, obviously, because I create content for them. But like, if I'm being honest, the amount of sewing books that I have really trumps the amount of sewing accounts that I follow. Namely because I'm someone who really likes to be able to touch and feel in the thing and be able to take my time to learn different concepts. And I like to do that through reading, which is why I was super geeked when Maddie from Madeline sent me her book. Y'all, she came out with an entire book that covers lingerie. Now, this is not just your basic book. And one of the things that I was really excited about as I began to peruse through was where she was talking about the different size adjustments to make when it comes time to making your panties and your bras. Now, as someone who does a lot of adjustments, I don't typically do adjustments for my panties. And after taking a look at what she was talking about, you guys, I feel like it might be time to do just that. But before we jump into the adjustments part of the book, which was obviously one of my favorites, I wanted to just do a little tour of the book so that we could talk about some really great things, as well as some of the things that she offers in her book, which are like, wow. Okay. So not only did she send me this book, but she also sent me another little treat along with it. Included with my book, as well as a little something that I'm going to be giving away, she also included this here spray. This is the Otif 505. It's a temporary adhesive. If you're like, girl, why is that a treat? Whenever you're working with like swimwear, as well as with bralettes or bras and panties and dealing with things that have to be lined, or you're trying to multiply or manipulate fabrics that could be a little slinkier, using something like this 505 temporary basting solution is really, really helpful. It sprays on, then you just attach it. Now, if you remember from my last sew along that I did for the bralette, I was talking about how if you're having trouble, use a glue stick or something along those lines. If you're having trouble with your fabrics, this here goes a long way. I'm actually in the process of teaching a class that is on swimwear, and we have used this in our class. Okay, so now let's take a look at this book. One of the things that I have really loved about Madeline, like especially because I really discovered more about Madeline's patterns when she partnered with Simplicity. One thing about her patterns, they've always been inclusive. Now, with the big four, big five, we typically do not get too many plus size sizes. We've already talked about that, or rather we've stopped talking about that, right? Because there's nothing to talk about there. Say that Madeline, whenever her stuff drops, it goes up to a 5X, and for that I'm very, very much so appreciative. But let's get into her book, okay? So her book starts off, of course, with acknowledgments as well as the table of contents, which we love to see, because if we don't need to get into something, then we don't need to get into it. One of the things that I really loved is how she kind of reviewed the history of bras, right? And she started out with 1914, and of course with Mary Phelps patenting the brassiere, the bra, right, as we know it. And then she details and goes all the way up until like 2018, aka lingerie of today. She touches upon body positivity, which I appreciate because she is a very slim person. And one of the things that I speak to often is that, yes, it is really great, of course, when plus size bodies talk about size inclusivity or body positivity, but it impacts even more when someone who is standard size talks about the impacts of having body positivity present in their lives. For the same reason why, like, if I talk about Black Lives Mattering, it hits differently than if my white counterparts talks about Black Lives Mattering, okay? So then, of course, she gets into getting to know lingerie. She talks about the different types of lingerie from bras, panties, bodysuits, corsets, different types of boning, right? She goes into teddies, chemises, baby dolls, girdles, garters, the differences between all of them, right? What I really appreciated was her going into the different types of bra types, right? Because of course we've got the full cup, we've got darted cups, we've got bralettes. Bralettes are always going to be my favorite, okay? Strapless. And, you know, we've got some really great strapless bras out there. The plunge bra, so that you can wear things that are low cut or deep V. A long line bra. Demi bras, bustiers. And if you're like me, if you're like, what's the difference between a bustier and like a corset? The bustier is actually the pattern that I came out with in 2015. No, not in 2015, but ME 2015, the one that Nikki helped me through. That is a bustier. A corset is essentially without the cups. That was important. Hope y'all took notes. Okay. But I loved how she detailed all of the different types of bras that do exist, because I do think that a lot of times we are out shopping for bra patterns or bras and we don't know exactly what we need or how they function, right? Like in my head, I love about I've actually never worn one. So is it for me? Who knows? Horizontal neckline, and I feel like as I fall in love with these square neck tops, I need a balconette bra. Okay. So she also goes over the different terminology that we use when it comes time to, of course, get into talking about how bras are going to fit along with your breasts, right? So cleavage, obviously we're giving a little bit of cleavage today, right? She's talking about lift. So meaning how the bra like really kind of erects the breasts, right? Chest wall, meaning like the rib cage, right? The breast root, which is that fold that's underneath the breast. And these are all things that you may not actually pay attention to unless you are someone who is really getting into bra making. But the thing is that she does the exact same thing along with different panty types. Now, I personally, your girl loves a Brazilian cut panty. Okay. I also love a French cut panty. Now, do those things love me and where my fat is distributed? Not all the time, but I do love how she went into the deeps. I mean, into the definitions of them, right? And then she gets into, of course, the lingerie component terms. This was something important to me because I feel like the more information that I know, the better equipped I am in order for me to go ahead and actually have success with it, because I like to understand the mechanics of things. She laid out the mechanics of bras and panties. So now let me talk about, of course, the thing that was kind of, again, mind-blowing for me. And that, of course, was where she was talking about how to do the adjustments for your panties. Again, because I do feel like when it comes to my upper body, not that I'm straight size or anything like that, but I do feel like I have a little bit more flexibility when it comes time to making my bras and stuff like that. But I loved how she gave advice for working with the delicate fabrics and really ultimately where you're going to go ahead and make those adjustments, not just for panties, but also for your bras. When I tell you that she deep dove into not just the measurements, and we all know that I am a sucker for like, tell me where to measure so that I can get this right? But she also deep dove into how those measurements play into the adjustments that you need to make. I also really loved one of the things that has been hard for me to kind of wrap my mind around, or rather was really hard for me to wrap my mind around, because typically when I'm sewing my bras and panties, I am using a stretch material, which means that in my head, I should actually be using a serger. The truth of the matter is that while you can, of course, use a serger, doing these bras and panties on a sewing machine is actually something that is a strength. Madeline goes over all of the different techniques to install or to put in the elastic, as well as how to really get the best types of finish for the type of bra that you're doing, as far as going into the stitch type, stitch length, stitch width, all of that, right? She talks a lot about finishing your seams to make sure that you get a nice clean finish. Right now, to some people, that's not really important, but I will say that if you're working with like more sheer fabrics, having a clean finish is something that is going to feel better on your skin, not just look better. So now that we've gone over like the nitty gritty that she got into, y'all, she gave us projects to do, okay? So she gave us 3 pairs of panties that we could go ahead and do. And now these panties are the Barker panty, and the Barker panty is a paneled panty, and this is actually something that you can hack into becoming a period panty. She doesn't really talk too much about that, but you absolutely can. She gives a QR code so that we can go ahead and download that pattern, right? She also gives us the Millie panty, which is a thong that has like a little keyhole finish in the back. It is very cute. And then she also gives us the Ross panty. Now, I love this Ross panty. The front has almost like a keyhole. It's not quite a keyhole. Let's see, what does she call it? It has a cutout, a triangular cutout in the front as well as in the back. And the back is designed for a double galloon lace, or rather a single galloon lace. I think you can get away with both a double galloon or a single galloon lace, but it does have to be stretched and at least 9 inches wide. But these are beautiful panties. Not only that, but y'all, she gave us 5 bras / bralettes, right? Starting out with the Brooklyn bralette, or the Brooklyn bra, right? The Brooklyn bralette is a bralette. I actually have the lace that I need. I mean, not the lace, but the elastic that I need for this. So I'm excited about that, because not only do I need to wear bras, but y'all, both of my daughters need bras as well. And so I'm super excited because with it being size inclusive, that means that I can fit my middle child on up to me in the same bralettes, using different materials, of course. But we've got the Brooklyn bralette, which is just a basic triangle bralette. Very, very cute, easy breezy, can be made with a wide variety of materials. The elastics that she uses are like these. I'm going to show you because I have some. So you can use an elastic that is like this, or you can use a wider elastic. I do love how with these bralettes, you can kind of choose your level of support depending upon how wide your elastic is, because, you know, we know that we do get a lot of support in that area. Then we also have the Margot bralette. The Margot bralette features a center snap, which, guys, I'm geeked about that. I love a front and center snap. It's funny because I'm not someone, and drop a comment and tell me how you put your bras on, especially if they have the clasp in the back. Now, I typically will hook it on in the front and then turn it and then put my straps on. But I do love a buckle in the front. I always feel more supported that way, but I can never find really great bras that are looking like that. So you can always do this Margot bralette. You can also use this type of elastic for that as well, which super excited about this bralette as well. I really love how she has the models, modeling it in different materials, different colors, so that we can really see ourselves in it. Then there is the Ryan bralette, and this is kind of like a longer line. It's a high neck, longer line bralette. It almost looks like it's a shirt. Dare I say, like, I'm not gonna lie, I would probably wear this out if I made it in the right type of material that I felt like I could wear out. But it's giving like long line, high neck, very, very cute. Now, I will say that with this type of bralette, you can't get away with wearing just anything that you would like, because it is a higher neck. But I do think that because of that, you can also get away with using it as a shirt, a crop top situation. Then we've got the Ray underwire bra. Even though I'm sometimey with wearing underwire, depending upon what my HS is doing, I love this bra. It is so simple, but it is so beautiful. And so the underwire is almost like a balconette bra, but not quite, because it does have a scalloped edge. It's not completely horizontal, but almost there. Very, very pretty. And it is going to require, of course, more notions than, say, the previous bras. I do feel like there are some really great options that you can do with this as far as really beautifying it and making it really fun to match some of the panties that she has also included here. Then there is the Kennedy Sports bralette. sports bralette, giving us sporty spice, okay? She said, you can be cute and be functional, which, you know what? Here for, because I obviously like a sporty situation. I've been going back to the gym, and if I can look cute, I don't see why I wouldn't want to. You feel me? Now, in addition to, of course, these panties and bras, she also gave us some swimsuits to do as well. And we know it's swimsuit season. So she's given us the Henrietta one piece, which is really cute because it has a crossover in the front, but it is a one piece situation. I will say it feels a little bit more conservative. The only lack of conservativeness that I see in this swimsuit is that it does have a very low scoop in the back. Now, for me, I could actually see myself turning this into a body suit, as well as changing the back panty so that it's a little bit more cheeky, because, you know, if you've got it, flown it, ba-da-da-da-da-da. So anyway, then we also have the Haley bikini, which is a two-piece. Now, it's not giving like string bikini or triangle bikini or anything like that. It has a simple V in the center, and it's just a nice two-piece. Now, I will say that this model who is modeling this bikini for us is giving us cheeky excellence. And I'm fully subscribed because I love to see it. I love to see our plus size bodies out here giving cheeky excellence again. Can't wait to try that, because I would even wear this one as a bralette, because it does actually have the wired bralette or the wire area. Now, Madeline actually sells these like V wires, underwires, and it's designed, the swimsuit is designed for that. She's also designed some other bras for that. And if you make my Emmy 2028, you can also use that underwire V to hold that V situation in the corset nice and firm. Now, let's get into the bodysuits that she gives us, okay? Because she gave us the Godiva underwire bodysuit. It's giving sexy. It's giving, yes, we can be sexy, but we can also be functional also as a bodysuit, okay? Like to wear outside, not just in the bedroom, all right? So I love this Godiva bodysuit. It is in a thong, okay? We're out here making Cisco proud, okay? And I do feel like this can work with a myriad of materials, from mesh, laces on up to just even like a jersey. Because I do feel like this is very versatile in that, and I wouldn't even change the back so that it was something other than a thong. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite things, especially as someone who has had a double mastectomy, if you're new here, I had a double mastectomy in 2023. I have the BRCA2 gene, so that is the cancer gene that is associated with your breast cancer, ovarian cancer, skin cancer, as well as pancreatic cancer. So I went ahead and I had both of my breasts removed. I have no breast tissue left. And then I had a reconstructive surgery. But one of the things that has been hard for me is in finding ready to wear bras that actually fit. One of the things that I've really loved about this book is because she gives she addresses how to make nursing bras. I was a breastfeeding mom for like 5 years, and mastectomy bras. And one of the things that I kind of felt like after I had my mastectomy is that I am very sensitive to fabrics on me, as well as I feel like a lot of times, because my breast is wider versus having protrusion, a lot of times it's hard for me to actually fit bras, and I will have a lot of excess fabric in the front. So I really love how she's giving how to work with bras and these bra patterns to create something that works for your mastectomy breasts, right? Not only that, but not only does she like help with different types of bras, right? Because if you're someone who decided not to go with a reconstruction, then she addresses how to have the prosthesis bras. She talks about pre and post surgery bras, how to prepare for radiation, that sort of thing. And I really have appreciation for that level of inclusion. So with that, let me tell you guys what I have, because I'm going to get ready to do a sew along for one of the panties, as possibly a bra as well, inside of this book. But because I got my kit from Madeline. So Madeline also has these pre-done kits. And y'all know I love a kit, right? And we learned that the last time that I did a sew along for a bralette. But this one is mine. And look at this beautiful fabric here. So this is a stretch mesh, 4-way stretch mesh. This is going to be what's included in the kit that I give away as well. Okay. Then there is a power mesh. Y'all, look at how much power mesh there is. If you're like, girl, what is power mesh for? It adds support. It's there to support you. If you are someone who likes compression, baby, the power mesh is for you. Okay. So we've got this power mesh as well. We also have a coordinating mesh fabric in here. But that's not it, because we also have the FOE, the fold over elastic that coordinates. We also have, so we have 2 different types of FOE. So we've got this, let's see, what is this? This is 3/4 inch. And then we also have the 1.5 inch fold over elastic. Then we also have the picot elastic, giving us picot on the sides. And then, of course, we also have the underbust or the waistband elastic, as well as, of course, all of the hardware needed to make a little bralette. So, oh, and look at this. There's even a little, look at that, a little tag in here as well. So, again, this version is mine, but this version is what I would like to give away, right? So I would like to gift one of my viewers this here, right here, which means that you'll be able to go ahead and make your own panties, bras, whatever it is that you would like. And this is a very similar set to mine, not the exact same. This one has blue in it versus the brown, right? So it's the same. I don't want to like undo it, but so we've got the blue instead of the brown. I opted to go for the brown because your girl is over here living her best life, okay? But if you're like, Aaronica, how do I enter to win this? You enter to win this simply by commenting. That's it. Just leave a comment and I'm going to choose randomly from someone who comments on this video. If you comment more than one time, obviously that means that you get entered more than once. But that's about it. I will choose a winner in the next week. So let me take a look at what day it is. Today is, actually, it'll just be within the next week. Okay, so that means that you've got from now until a week from today, the date of this video, to go ahead and enter. That's it. Anyway, go ahead and like, subscribe, share this video with someone else who you know would love to get into bra and panty making. So that way you can have things that truly fit the body that you have and the body that you designed, and you get to design for that body. Okay. With that, I will check you all later. And of course, happy sewing.